I like to think that we can teach ourselves to be more creative woodworkers. So I'm gonna take on a challenge and build those skills. I'm gonna take this board and I'm gonna try to make 3 projects from it, but I'm gonna make it difficult. I can only use one tool, and every project has to have a circle, like an interior circle, like a donut. I have no idea what I'm gonna make or how I'm gonna make it. That's why it's a challenge. The table saw is my go-to when it comes to making pretty much any woodworking project. It's gonna be the best for cutting straight lines. Interior circles though, not so much. No brainer, the drill press is gonna be the best for cutting the interior circles because I could just throw in like a Forstner bit or something. Straight lines though, no, can't really do that. I guess I could probably put like a sanding drum on it and I could sand something sort of straight, but I still gotta cut the board into pieces. I think the bandsaw is probably the no-brainer. I could cut straight lines, not as good as a table saw, but I could cut them pretty good. I could cut interior circles, not as good as a drill press, but I could cut them pretty good. A couple downsides. One of them is that I cracked the center plate in here, and I don't feel like making another one. And also I broke my thin, small blade. I don't feel like buying another one. So instead of this, I'm gonna go with its baby brother, the scroll saw. This is the best chair in the world. Highly recommend this chair. Oh yeah. I love the scroll saw. I love it so much that I have a separate YouTube channel on just scroll sawing. If you've never used this tool, it will broaden your woodworking options. And you can always learn how to use a scroll saw by checking out today's sponsor, Woodworkers Good of America. Woodworkers Good of America is your online resource for woodworking instructions, ideas, and information. Through trial and error and breaking lots of wood pieces, I learned that if I take a piece of MDF and put it on my scroll saw, it allows me to cut little tiny pieces without breaking them as often. Well, the other day I realized that Woodworkers Good of America already had a video on that, much better than what I have. If I would have watched that way back in the day, imagine what kind of frustration I could have avoided. Some people think that the scroll saw is really for making pictures, artwork. No, Woodworkers Good of America has a video on an easy way to make chess pieces. And if you look at chess pieces, those look pretty complicated, but they break it down real simple. What I really like is their premium instruction videos. They walk you step by step through processes. You're not just watching something and getting entertainment from it, but you're also seeing an expert instructor, and they're sharing their tips and they're answering questions and they're engaging with the Woodworkers Good of America community in real time. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put a link down in the video description below. First 1,000 of you that go down and click that link, you're gonna get access to a full year's premium membership to Woodworkers Good of America for only $1.49. For less than a cup of coffee, you're gonna get an entire year's worth of just woodworking goodness. Thank you to Woodworkers Good of America for sponsoring this video. Now we should probably check out our board to see what we can make out of it. Let's see what we got here. Looks like about 6 3/4 inch wide, 30 inches long or so, maybe 3/4 of an inch thick. I don't have 3 projects in mind, so I'm just gonna have to come up with one at a time. Made some puzzle pieces. The plan is that each one of these could be a coaster, and then you could put them together in different configurations to make a large coaster or like some sort of serving platter, like a trivet or something. There's a hole in each handle, which is cool because then I can stack them together, have like a dowel, and you stack them all together and put them on like a little holder over on a table. This board's only so big, I need to maximize my material. I laid out the puzzle pieces in this configuration. I know I could have pieced them all together, but I measured it. You're not really saving any more material by doing that compared to this. At least this way, I'm gonna get a better fit whenever I get them all cut out. Not too bad. Now I have to cut those interior circles. Really wish I could use the drill press. Instead, what I'm gonna do is try to put the smallest, tiniest blade I can put in my scroll saw, cut through the handle, cut out the circle, and I'm gonna come back and maybe clamp that and glue that shut. Hopefully it won't be too visible. While those are drying, I can start working on my second project, and I'm thinking candle holders. Now, usually with a candle holder, I would take like a big Forstner bit and drill like halfway through and then have the candle sit inside of that. But I can't do that, can I? So I gotta figure out a way to drill out a hole or cut out a hole that's only partially deep. I got some ideas. I cut out the outside shape. That was the easy part. Now I gotta cut out that circle in the middle. This is what I'm thinking. I'm gonna cut this with the grain, and then whenever I get to the circle, cut out the circle, remove that, glue this whole thing together. So I'm gonna have a hexagon with a big circle in the middle of it. But then I need to put the circle back in. Yep, I used a clamp, and I figure that's still in the spirit of what we're trying to do here. We're not gonna say use a saw, but don't use the saw blade in the saw. It's not really the whole point in all of this. And I promise I won't use a whole bunch of clamps, and I won't use like those expensive specialty ones. I'm hand sanding all of these. I really wish I could use a power sander, but I said one tool, and figure sandpaper is disposable, just like glue. This isn't a tool. There's no point in us being nihilist and just wishing the world would burn. Watching you. I need to fill the holes back in, but not all the way. They need to be like halfway or something. That way my candle can sit down inside of that and then be flushed with the top. Well, I can't just take the circles and then glue them back into place because one, they're too thick. But two, whenever I cut them out, I lost some wood, right, from the kerf of the saw blade. So I need to cut new circles, but first I need a thinner board to do that. So what's up with the interior circle thing? Well, that is simply to make this harder, much harder. If I didn't do that, then, I mean, theoretically, couldn't I just take that board and cut it into like, I don't know, 100 chopsticks? Or cut it into like a block and then put just a cut in it and go, hey, business card holders. A little too easy, right? By doing it this way, it really narrows down what tools to use and what projects you can make. Incidentally, the first two projects are kind of good gift projects or something you can make and sell at a craft show. So figure, let's lean into that for the third one. I cut this with the grain, but I also tried to cut it along this dark vein to mask the cut. So now that I can glue these two pieces together and hopefully that'll make it invisible. I want pretty heavy on breaking those edges. I want them really soft. This right here. Not bad. One board, one tool, 3 projects. Turned out pretty good. Thank you to the Super 8 community over on Patreon for helping to support this channel, allowing me to make videos like this, and to meet again, get in your shop and build something awesome with just one tool. One tool. Bunch of nihilists.